It's systematic. Dude, what is that? It's an alcohol commercial. It's Svedka. It's vodka.
Svedka?
Dude, vodka, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with vodka.
I have a love, I can't remember relationship with vodka.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what it does. I don't know if it's hate. I don't know what happens in the blank spots. I hate that they're there.
Vodka goes great in like your fruity drinks. I don't like fruity alcoholic drinks though, because it gives me a headache.
It's all sugar.
Yeah, so it's just it burns white hot, and then your brain's just like ah. But yeah, I usually stick to like darker liquors. That's because it, like when you're drinking whiskey or scotch or something like that, the whole time you're like, who's alcohol? And like you can kind of maintain a buzz without like
not drinking too much. What you're saying is that it's not easy to drink an insane amount of whiskey.
It's not easy to drink on purpose.
Yeah.
But also, like the more you drink whiskey, you're like, I'm kind of come around with
the
this
more
taste.
okay with it you are. Yeah. Yeah, you know, a real good vodka, a real quality vodka requires nothing else with it. You're supposed to drink it just like chilled.
It's also it kind of has like a syrupy consistency to
it. As it gets cold, it kind of gets thick a little bit.
Like
thick water.
Yeah, like thick water.
Yeah, ooh. And it has no flavor. It has nothing. It is.
You're just like knock it back, and all of a sudden your eyes go. That's like the response to
there it is, darkness. There's something at the Korean restaurant that Maury and I go to. It's the #1 most popular spirit in the world. It's called soju. Soju.
Sounds fun.
It's 17.5% booze.
It's not that bad.
So it's like 32 proof or something like that. If you're, they don't use
That's pretty stout. I mean, it's pretty stout, but it's not that bad.
It's like stronger than beer, stronger than wine, but not as strong as like liquor. It's in that weird middle area. It has no flavor. It's like water. And they bring it out in a little bottle, a little 10-ounce bottle, and they bring it out. It's bigger than a shot glass, but it's not as big as like a rocks glass or a tumbler or one of those.
Gotcha. Do they bring you like a flight of glasses or just one?
They bring you two. Well, it's like you're supposed to split a bottle with somebody. It's got a little frog on the bottle. It's called Soju Fresh.
Cool.
It's awesome.
And what's the restaurant?
Sogong-dong Tofu House on Antioch Pike.
Sogong-dong Tofu House. Cool.
It's killer. Sogong-dong. That place is murder. It's so good.
I bet it is.
My go-to, it's been like what I've eaten the last 3 times I've been there, is the Korean short ribs. And it comes out, it's like Asian fajitas. It comes out in a little cast iron thing in a wooden plate, sizzling, with onions and short ribs on top. And then with that, you get a soup. So I get the beef and tofu soup. And that's the meal. And then they also bring out a bunch of tiny plates of like pickles and kimchi.
See, that sounds like
and like fermented bean sprouts.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. We should
just got to get like a variety of foods. It's great.
It's great.
So you get the short ribs.
Yeah, I get the short ribs.
So what happens when you order the long ribs? They just bring out like a slab of Godzilla's chest plate.
They bring out a full new Korean man.
And you're just immediately I don't know how I feel about this restaurant.
Maybe there's a translation error in the menu. A lot of restaurants like that Mari and I go to that are, I have a set of guidelines. If
okay.
If there's no English or misspelled English on the menu, it's gonna be good.
Food's fire.
Food's gonna be really good.
Yeah. That's a pretty good rule.
If it's cash only, automatically good.
Even better.
If you're the only white people there, and it's if it's like an Asian restaurant, like a Chinese place or a Korean place, and everybody else in there is Chinese or Korean, respectively, and you're the only white people,
you know, good.
Man, that food's gonna be amazing. You're not gonna know what it is or what's in it, unless you are very, very familiar with.
Yeah, you gotta be astute in the culture.
In that culture and in that culture's food, so good. And if there's no menu at all, that's the top notch. When there's no menu, where you just walk in, and the lady's like, "Do you want meat or vegetables?" You're like,
Can I have both?
Can I have both? A combination plate? Okay. And they go into the kitchen, they bring you back some crazy dish, and it's surprisingly only like $14 for a person. When you eat an insane amount of food.
Yeah, yeah. Like they bring the food out in a trough, and you're like, Jesus.
Yeah. You're like, how is this $14? How is anyone making any money in this equation?
It's great, but also you get the to-go box, and then that's just awesome food for later. Because as we both know, like
midnight hungry.
Midnight hungry, but also like food, especially with soups. You just made some soups, meal prep.
Yeah.
Like it's great when you make it when it's hot and warm, but also as it sets up for the day, all them flavors get in, and they start to mingle around. It gets to know each other. Everyone's shaking hands, becoming neighbors, and like it just ferments up into something even better. It's great.
Yeah. Lasagna is always better. Like lasagna, pasta dishes, soup.
So Bonnie's lasagna we had for the Christmas thing was fire, and then she sent us back with food, and then I had, I cut it in half and ate another half of lasagna.
Yeah, you put the first half in the blender and drank it.
Well, no, I heated up the other half of lasagna, and I made that as a sauce over the top of the lasagna. It's like lasagna inception. It was it's set up real nice. It was good. Had like notes of garlic in it. It was great. It's good shit.
Yeah, I think she uses so much garlic because her wife Marin loves garlic. Like loves.
It is little garlic. It's great.
Yeah.
If you're a freaking vampire, maybe. Even then, if you're a vampire, like, wouldn't you want a little garlic and some stuff?
Just a little bit.
And then you're like,
right back to the whiskey thing. Right back to the
whiskey.
thing.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
Take a sip. You're like, oh man, that's how I feel about gin. Love it,
man. Either gin is like Pine Sol, or it's well disguised in a drink. There's no in between.
No, see I had the same feeling about gin that so many people have had. Is that gin tastes like a Christmas tree, or gin tastes like Pine Sol, or it's so gross, tastes like furniture polish, it tastes like distilled Christmas.
But that's like I think you said that's just crappy gin.
You're buying cheap gin.
Yeah.
You're buying cheap gin. A good, high quality gin is going to have all the qualities that you would want. It's going to taste like booze. It's going to taste like it has alcohol in it, but it's not going to be overpowering and gross. It's going to have herbal and botanical and earthy.
See, yeah, I don't mind herbal or botanical. Like, dude,
it's going to have those, but those also won't be overpowering. And what I feel like happens with cheap gin is you have either it tastes like
one is
it's
the
one
other,
or the other,
yeah.
And there's no balance, there's no elegance. It's just Pine Sol. And then you're trying to mix it with another thing. You're trying to make a gin and tonic, and it just tastes like gross.
And then whatever was there to balance it, whatever you mix it with, it's probably just undercut it, or it just thrown it all.
Yeah,
and you're drinking some sort of
whatever this thing is I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's that. It's that. This
is the scale, and either you're tipping it one way or the other,
or it's going back and forth rapidly.
Well, if you have a drink doing that, you might want to get away from it because it may be combustible.
It may be volatile. That is uranium you're trying to partake of, sir.
I bet uranium is delicious.
20 It's like a teaspoon of uranium is like 20 billion calories or something like that. If you were to convert the energy that way.
You take a spoonful of uranium and you become God for a second, and your head just goes.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of uranium, this is about to take a dark turn.
Oh God.
There was, I want to say this is associated with the Demon Core. So it was an object that was made. It was like the most radioactive object ever made, like man-made. And it's some kind of, I forget exactly what it was, but they used uranium, I think, originally with it. And it's basically a ball. It's like a 6-inch by 6-inch sphere. It's insanely radioactive. And one of the scientists that was working on it was a young guy, and he was in his 20s, I think. He was like 25 or 26. And he was working on working with, they called it the Demon Core, is where it got its name from, is from all of the incidents that it was involved with that people died from. And this is before we knew
they're having measures in place to protect themselves from
from radiation. We knew the radiation was dangerous, but we didn't know the radiation was so dangerous. And this guy basically got extreme radiation exposure because every time the Demon Core was so volatile that if you were to drop it, there was a chance that it would explode. It was so And
I can imagine working in that type of environment. Say, hey, by the way, this thing that we're working on, if you bump it, it may kill us all.
Yeah.
Cool.
And someone bumped it, and the level of radiation that it produced increased exponentially.
Yeah.
And that dude fell incredibly ill.
Well, yeah.
From at the time, the most extreme example of radiation poisoning ever recorded on a human. Ever.
And him survive, like, did he survive to, like...
He stayed alive for, like, a few days.
Oh, man, that sucks.
And
the massive macular degeneration in your cells from getting that...
They kept him alive to study him.
Oh, that sucks.
And he was in excruciating pain for several days, and he pretty much died when there was nothing left of him. Like, he just dissolved over several days. Turned into mush. Yeah.
God.
Brutal. So yeah, I bet uranium is super cool for like a second.
That guy literally experienced macular cellular degeneration. Like you said, he just became
mush.
Dude, I would be like, you better pump me full of all the things.
All the drugs.
So I'm cool with you guys studying me, but I'm going out with a bang. Deluge of all the narcotics, everything.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, it'd be wild. But also, like, if you're exposed to that much radiation, you're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
Like, hey, cool, you guys, poke and prod, but also, let's make it a ride.
Yeah, a lot of the very first ever, the people who the very first ever studied radiation, all of their notebooks are in, like, lead vaults and stuff because all their stuff's radioactive. Because
that's insane.
They didn't know what they were working with.
Yeah.
And then, mysteriously, they all died of cancer. Wonder what causes that? It's like, it just so happens that all these people are associated with working with radiation. And then they're all suddenly very sick with radiation.
Dire straits. It sucks.
Wild stuff.
It's wild stuff. Like, yes, the Demon Core. What other, like, weird, terrible things are, like, I know of the Dybbuk box. Like, that's, like, the demon box that, like, the radio frequencies or whatever allows you to speak with the ethereal plane, or that's what they claim it does. Like the super haunted objects.
What's the backstory of that box? Was it discovered or was it made?
I think I think that's why it's bringing the bells, because it has something to do with radiation as well. Like it was near a site like that, a testing site, something exposed to extreme radiation, but it's like a radio that, for some reason, certain frequencies produce, like, things are talking, or there's some sort of, like, static frequency, and, like, they have been able to decipher, like, words and phrases, and it's like it's coming from somewhere else. And there's a whole bunch of stuff on it. Like, I'm summarizing, butchering it, but, like, it struck a chord when you talked about the Demon Core, because I think I've seen that reference alongside the Dybbuk box.
So we need a young Jamie to Google this type of stuff over.
Yeah. But yeah, man, there's all kinds of weird objects like that, like haunted things. Obviously it's super interesting and peculiar and perplexing because you're like, what if? Who knows? It's always fun to, like, dabble in things that bump in the night, which is why I, going to if we're going to go down this route, like the Skinwalker stories and the stuff from 4chan. I love that. I'm so glad that you, like, showed me that type of stuff, because, I've always been into that weird stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Because the stories are fun. But, like,
it doesn't matter whether or not they're true. They're fun.
Yeah.
That's what's cool.
But, like,
they're fun.
But ever so often, you'll come across one that has an extra air of, like, it has a whole other level of creep to it. You're like, this one may have a little levity to it.
It's always the ones that make it seem like it's slightly more real. It's a little bit too real. That's where it gets good.
Yeah.
I was listening to one yesterday called Tower 7. And it's basically about a guy that he lives in Alaska. He's part of the Firewatch system. So literally you don't get paid great money, but you get benefits. And you live basically in a cabin in the woods.
Okay, so you get, like, cool perks, solitude. If you're into nature, yeah.
You do pretty much whatever you want to. So long as every hour on the hour, you have to do a radio check to confirm that there are no wildfires in the region.
Okay.
And it's like a big guard tower in the middle of the woods. And you look around. Hey, no smoke, no fires. This is Tower 1 calling in. Radio check for 5 p.m. on the 5th. There's no fires.
All's well.
Okay, confirm. Click. And you go right back to playing video games or doing
whatever you're doing.
Whatever you want to do. And so, dude said that after you do so many weeks on and so many weeks off.
Yeah.
So you're out there for 8 weeks, and then you're back home for a month, and then you're back out for 8 weeks, and you're back home for a month, or whatever the schedule is. There's a rotating schedule. And dude said that after a while, you will start to experience unusual things. You know, being in solitude, you start seeing things that aren't really there. And they said that the one thing that you see a lot, and that everybody out there has claimed to seen, is they just call him Clipboard Guy.
Interesting.
And he's a man in a suit, which doesn't match the environment. Because you're out in the Alaskan wilderness, you think you'd have like a parka
heavy
on,
coat,
like heavy coat, and like
some type of gear for the wilderness.
Hiking boots, a backpack. But no, he's wearing like a business suit, and he will step out and look at you and take notes on his clipboard. And then when you see him and you like call out to him, he'll look at you again, and then he'll turn around and like walk behind a tree and vanish, like in a video game.
Super
like
creepy.
Okay. Yeah, super creepy. And so the dude from Tower 7, like one of the side stories he told is about how he was trying to catch.
He's trying to snare Clipboard Guy.
He's trying to catch Clipboard Guy, and he snuck up behind him one time. Ooh. So Clipboard Guy's like staring at the tower and like taking notes on his clipboard, and dude's like sneaking up. There's no snow, or the snow would make a crunching sound, but it's not snowing at that time of year. He's sneaking up behind him. He said he got about 10 feet away from Clipboard Guy, and Clipboard Guy slowly turns around, locks eyes, and goes, "Cougar." And dude's like, "What?" He turns around, and there's a mountain lion behind him, and dude raises his rifle. Cougar runs away, and then turns back around. Clipboard Guy's gone. He said that's the closest he ever got to Clipboard Guy.
Interesting. So Clipboard Guy, being out of place as he is wearing a suit, but he has a clipboard. So if this story holds any water, Clipboard Guy is an admin, and he
in the computer simulation.
In the computer simulation, he enabled command prompt and was like "Cougar," and then it was enough to distract the user, and then he exited. He pulled away from the server. That's freaking insane.
Yeah.
What kind of weird Clipboard Guy.
Clipboard Guy. But anyway, they the people who run the Firewatch towers, they have spoken to the native people, and the people the native people, like the Native Americans who have been living in Alaska,
the indigenous folks,
the indigenous peoples who have been living there forever, and they've mentioned him. They're like, "Oh, him. Yeah, we know about him." I'm like, "We can tell us about him?" "Nope."
Can't. Sorry.
It's in the religion. We're not allowed to talk about that guy. And the native people, not the native people, the local people in the town.
How do they describe him? Like what is
same? He's a strange man.
Same garb, like wearing a suit.
He never said.
Oh, okay.
Never said.
But
allegedly,
like how he appeared, or like how they see him.
Yeah.
However that works.
But dude did some research, and he said that there's the indigenous peoples of that area have their own religion that's been unchanged for however long they've been living there, thousands of years, and they have a pantheon of gods.
Cool.
And like the All-Father, like the king of gods, like that guy who's in charge of everything, the creator, he speaks in a way that no one else can understand. So I think it's like his wife or his son or something has to translate everything he says, because he speaks in like a language that only he speaks. Like no one else speaks that language.
Interesting. And
that there's all these other gods, and there's sons of gods and daughters of other gods, and they're married and they have kids, and anyway, there's one of them is the god of trickery and mischief.
Oh, a Loki?
Kind of. It's like that kind of god. And one of the other gods chained him to the bottom of the lake because he caused too much trouble. So like now he's the god of the underworld too. And so he has lesser deities like cougars and bears do his bidding because he can't do anything at the bottom of the lake. So he has to like communicate to the fish, and the fish have to communicate to the birds, and the birds have to communicate.
It's a weird disciple system.
Yeah, it's like there's some kind of order, and the humans are just in it, which is cool. That's a cool way to look at the world. And that Clipboard Guy is allegedly associated to one of those gods, and he's doing something for one of them.
That is insane. But
sort
also, pretty cool.
Yeah. Sort of the way that, like Odin has the 2 crows, or the 2 ravens, and they fly around the earth every day, and then they fly back to him at night, and they tell him everything that they witnessed. The same idea, I guess. I guess Clipboard Guy's, he's literally like a watchtower dude for some deity somewhere.
It's pretty crazy though. I wonder how many people have had encounters with that apparition.
Allegedly, everyone who worked at every tower had seen Clipboard Guy. Dating back for like 50, 60, 70 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy though.
Yeah. Everybody's seen Clipboard Guy, and they all describe him the same way. It's like a dude of average height.
See, I wonder like how much is that like this is a story that's been passed on. It's like, oh, be on the lookout. So they have independent knowledge of Clipboard Guy, and they all describe him the same way because they'll give it the story a little more like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he didn't know about Clipboard Guy. No one ever told him, but like he saw this and described it the same way. It's like, oh shit.
That was the description, and someone said like when he started working there, like, oh yeah, it's a cool job, but like weird stuff happens in the woods.
So that's what he said. It's about it.
Yeah, it's like weird stuff happens in the woods, and you think that like, oh, I'll see a mountain lion, or maybe one of the indigenous peoples will be out hunting, and I'll see him out hunting, and I'll like,
where in the woods? Where is this?
Alaska.
Okay. Yeah, man, you're out there in it. Way out there in it.
Way out there, yeah. That's like
interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, It's a good one. It's such a good. All those 4chan X stories. I get on that board every couple days and like browse around for like 20 minutes, and then I get bored. Most of the time, it's garbage.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that I'm like, I'll just stop halfway through. It's like, all right, this is just nonsense.
No, I'm saying most of the stuff that's being posted on 4chan's garbage. It's rare that you see anybody telling a story, and it's even more rare that the story's good. It's very rare. Which is what makes those 4chan stories so good.
Yeah, because when you're on one, you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
It's pretty crazy, though. But yeah.
That's another weird thing, too, is like the whole culture of 4chan. It's like it's its own thing.
Well, I mean, like people, because like you want to believe that there's something outside of the way things exist, because that makes other things possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as humdrum as your day to day. Get up, go to work, do the thing, come home, eat.
Play video games, go back to bed.
Whatever pastime is. Work out, meal prep. Like it's if something ethereal or something parallel to this existence exists, it throws everything into a tizzy, because that means whatever you adhere to is not the way it is. It's just how you're functioning in it.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, to me, I like thinking that way. It's a good lateral thinking as opposed to just your normal thinking patterns. It's cool because you'll come across ideas, or you'll dissect something in a way that you hadn't really considered before, and it may change your entire outlook on it. So I think that's why I like those stories, because not only is like you said, when you come across a good one that's like a yarn, you're like, ooh, buddy, I'm gonna follow this to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's like, and after it's over, you sit there in the weight of what you just heard, and like, because if it's being professed and told to you in a way that's very digestible, your mind will conjure the imagery for you, mm-hmm. and you're along the ride.
Just like reading a good book.
It's great, and that's the cool part about it, because you're literally creating a world in of itself while following the narrative, and that in of itself, it exists within your mind. Mm-hmm. But who's to say? Who's to say it's not real?
Yeah, it's like saying the dream world isn't real. It's real.
It's definitely
the
real.
Dream world's a place. I mean, whether or not is it physical and tangible? Can you physically like open up a magic doorway and step through and be there? No, not really. But through like what we talked about in the last podcast, talking about lucid dreaming.
Yeah. You
can go there.
You can go there.
You can go with big air quotes. You can go there, not physically. If you're having a dream where you're in a car accident, you're not going to wake up with cuts on your face from hitting your face against the dashboard of the car.
No, but having that experience
will freak you out the next time you drive a car.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it is real. It has effects. It's just not real the way that people like to imagine real, as in this world is real because if I pick up this drink and then drop it, the glass will break. And it's real. And then someone else can step on that glass. But if I have a dream about dropping a glass on the floor and it breaking, and there's no glass for anybody else to step on. And so that aspect of it doesn't transfer over. So it's quote not real, which
it dissipates the moment you wake up.
I feel like that causes a lot of people to discredit the dream world. But the dream world's real. It's a product of your subconscious.
Yeah, and
a small product of your subconscious, I think.
The cool thing about it is like you can get better at it. Yeah. And that's something that really fascinates me because obviously if you you got to suck at something before you're good at something. That's just how it works. And if you practice the lucid part of lucid dreaming, it becomes more and more of a tangible thing and you can navigate it like in a real sense. Mm-hmm. So as where like you just have dreams and nightmares and experiences and stuff, you can like move around the place, get off the rails of a dream, and then like you can poke and prod and like create and destroy, and you can ask questions. Like it's just weird. It's a weird void that also is not a void. It's both existent and nothing at the same time. It can become everything, and it can also be just distraught and vapid. It's crazy. But you can also, you can do all kinds of cool stuff in your dreams.
Or you can do nothing.
Yeah.
You can do whatever. It's wild.
It's wild.
Lucid dreams are tight.
Lucid dreams are tight.
Yeah. I knew I was having crazy dreams last night, but I woke up and it was one of those times where you wake up and it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like you knew, like I was in the middle of doing something.
I had a dream that you and I, it was like a weird parallel existence for us. It's like lesser us. We were like in squalor.
Oh, I guess if we were like flat broke.
Like junkies or some shit. It's like it was a weird living situation, and like we were rummaging through something, and like I put a bag in a box, and I moved the box, and it tore out from underneath it, and you got really upset about it. And it was just that was my favorite box, dude. Come on. No, it was more like I like whatever was in it spilled out. You were more upset about that. It was just it was and like that was all I remember about it. But it was very odd.
We were collecting cans to trade them in for money.
It may have been some sort of like post-apocalyptic. It definitely had that vibe to it. It's like we were like salvaging stuff, and then all of a sudden like I moved it and it just
it was ruined. And I was upset that it was ruined.
What could have been? Yeah.
Weird.
The
thing I remember from my dream is that I was somewhere. It wasn't here. I was like far away in like the west or something, but not
cool.
Not like the desert west, like the mountainy, foresty west. And it was snowing. And it was right after, it was like the snow had been there for a while and spring was coming and it was melting. And there were people out like walking their dogs and stuff. And then people out walking their dogs, and then I was in a bar or something. And someone was complaining they stepped in dog shit. Because everybody was out walking their dogs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then someone, I think it was Kelsey from work, she was there in the bar, and she's like, see, that's why I like living in, and I forget where she said, she's like, because the people there really care, and they clean up after the dogs. That doesn't happen here, man.
That's a really weird.
And I was like sitting there at the bar, like not really aware. It was like I wasn't paying attention to the conversation, and then I kind of came back and just heard the last part.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we talking about? And then woke up. Weird.
It's weird. cat meme.
Yeah, yeah. The cat bobbing his head.
I've seen so many renditions of that meme. It's just been recycled over and over and over.
Dude, Mari and I watched like 8 dank meme videos back to back before going to sleep.
There you go.
Yeah. Today we watched internet sensation, Chinese internet sensation. Dianxi Xiaoge. Xiaoge, I think is how you say it. Dianxi Xiaoge. She is from Yunnan province of China. She lives on a corn farm. They grow corn, they grow tobacco.
Cool corn tobacco hybrid.
Yeah. It's corn tobacco. Corn syrup gets you addicted to nicotine.
Tobacco horn.
Tobacco horn, that's a good one. And she posts a lot of these traditional cooking videos of like traditional different cuisines and stuff from specifically like her province in China. And one of them was, I think it's called fermented pig liver or something like that. But they don't actually use any pig liver. But that's like the old name of the dish, and the dish isn't cooked the same now as it used to be, but the name never changed, something like that. And it sounds gross, but it looks incredible. I have to show you some of her videos. Like, the production quality is insane. And I thought for sure that it was Chinese communist propaganda. I thought for sure. Because all the stuff, the way it's filmed, everything is super high quality. The audio is great. The video is great. She's like a young, pretty Chinese girl.
Mm-hmm.
She looks very like healthy and happy and bubbly and excited all the time. And she lives in the rural part of China, like away from
away from
all
main
the big
cities.
away from all the big cities, away from all that stuff. She lives with her grandparents and her parents. They all live in one big house. And she's always like, today we're going out to harvest fresh honey. And on this huge farm, they have this property that reaches out forever. And they go up into the more wooded parts, into the hills, and they have certain trees that the bees live in. And all the trees are marked that the beehives are inside of, and they have like a little wooden door that pops open, and they cut out part of the honeycomb and like put it in a bag and take it back. And then they process the honey, and it all looks too good.
Yeah, it's like they live in 100-acre woods.
Yes, it looks like they live in this idyllic paradise.
Yeah, so you're leaning towards it being propaganda.
And so I'm like, this is definitely Chinese communist propaganda, like for sure. And there's another one too. It's oh god, what is her name? There's Dianxi Xiaoge, and then there's another one.
Dianxi Xiaoge.
Yeah. I forget what the other one was, but there's another one like that that's also very high quality. I think neighbor just got home. Very high quality. What seems to me like Chinese communist propaganda. It's not bad. It's fun to watch. I'll show you some of the videos here later.
All right.
They're great. I mean, she cooks all this, harvesting the honey. They made coffee in one episode. They like planted coffee trees, and then a year later they had coffee. There's one where they butchered a pig, and she showed like they use every part of the pig, every part, everything.
Got to.
Everything.
Got to.
And one of the dishes that they made was they used some kind of pork cut. I want to say it's like pork belly or something, like, or maybe pork loin. It's not quite as fatty as pork belly. And they chopped it into thin strips, and then used one of the pig's legs, removed all the bones to where it was just like the skin and the hoof, or the foot, I guess, because pigs don't really have hooves. And they chopped up all of the meat, mixed it with salt and spices and Sichuan chilies and a bunch of other crazy stuff, sugar, mixed it together into kind of a paste, and then packed it into the pig's leg, tied that up, cooked it, and then let it dry and kind of ferment.
So it kind of made it into like sausage-ish.
Basically, yeah. And then she takes the straw off, like, it's like 3 months later, she takes the straw off and cuts it super thin, and it's this crazy like thin pigskin on the outside, and you can see all the little herbs and spices and different cuts of meat.
Yeah, so it's
inside.
literally sausage.
Yeah, it's like, but it's a weird Chinese pig leg sausage, and I want to try it.
I bet it's great.
Yeah, she also
I bet it tastes amazing.
She also they did something with. They cut they cut the pig's face off basically, and then fermented it, and then made like pork cracklings out of pig face. Yeah,
pig face crackers.
Yeah, pig face cracklings, and then she like served it over rice. It's like the most.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I bet it's really good.
I bet it's super good. Chinese food's killer, especially traditional Chinese food. Man. Yeah.
So,
and Mari and I love to watch her videos together.
So, in the vein of like weird videos, like those mukbang videos.
I don't like watching those.
No, well, you're the one that showed me those to begin with.
Yeah.
But like the ones where it's just like, dude, how are you putting away all this food? It's like,
Koreans, man.
Is this like not hurting you? Like how are you eating all the food that ever existed in this one video?
Me and you and Nick, the three of us going out to eat hot pot, we put away a lot of food.
Yeah. I'm not saying we can't eat a lot of food. I'm just saying for one individual eating a 5-party tables worth of food in one sitting.
Oh, those kind. Yeah. Is it mukbang or mukbang?
What? However you
I don't know.
Mukbang.
Mukbang? I don't know. I don't speak Korean.
But yeah, those videos.
Watch me being accidentally racist, and well, actually, mukbang's not Korean. It's a form of Japanese. Whatever.
Yeah, man, it's not like you're meaning ill will or anything like that.
No, I'm not intentionally saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, you just don't know.
I'm literally uneducated on that subject. Like I said earlier, I don't like watching those videos anyway.
Yeah.
They're not my thing. Watching the Chinese chick chop up a pig into 1,000 tiny pieces and then make all those 1,000 tiny pieces into 1,000 tiny dishes, that's my jam.
Did they make jam? Pig jam?
I don't think so.
I like how I can see you going through the folders. No, I didn't see any jam. It's like pig lip jam.
Pig lip jam.
I don't know.
What do you
do with pig lips? You teach your kids some manners?
Well, you better act right before I make you chew on them pig lips.
Oh man.
Ugh, it's salty.
Pig lips are gristly and they're just real chewy. Ugh. It's like eating a Tootsie Roll that never goes away.
Oh, what was that called? What was it? Alligator gum? Do you remember what's that called?
Alligator gum?
There was some brand of gum that was yellow, and it had an alligator on the package, and it tasted insanely strong for
2 seconds.
For 2 seconds, and then the flavor went away.
Okay.
It doesn't exist anymore. I had it once when I was a kid, and my dad was like, I haven't seen this since I was a kid. And then I tried it, and we both bit into it and chewed it, and goes, yep, still sucks.
I remember zebra stripe gum.
Yeah, zebra stripe gum's the same way.
Same thing. It's like rainbow zebra, and each one is a different flavor. It's not really. It's just your brain. They color the pieces different, and your brain's like, oh, this is great, but it's not. It's all the same flavor.
Yeah, it's like Fruit Loops.
Yeah, Fruit Loops or Skittles. Skittles the same way.
All the same flavor.
Oh yeah, you chew the gum for literally, like you said, 2 seconds, and all of a sudden it just becomes mortar. You're like, what is that? Yeah, it's gross.
Are Skittles all the same flavor?
All Skittles are the same flavor.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I knew that all Fruit Loops are the same flavor, and I got in an argument with somebody about that.
That's such a weird argument to get in.
They all taste different. I'm like, you really think that they mass produce? They have a section of the Fruit Loops factory that they only make purple Fruit Loops, and they all taste no. It's a colorless, flavored paste that gets
color. Yeah, it's colored. And your brain does the rest of it.
It's a white. It's got to be. It's like white or gray. And it comes out of a giant tube in the form of rings, and then it gets divided up by portion, and then sprayed with a colored dye, and that's it.
That's it.
So Skittles, and if you don't believe me, have someone blindfold you and then feed you a single Fruit Loop of each color, and then you guess what color it is based on the.
So it's the same thing.
You'll be wrong
Skittles.
every time.
Yeah, I saw it so Skittles the enamel the thing on it, the hard coating, it's fragranced. the actual Skittle has no, like, it's all the same homogeneous flavor. And so, like, the actual coating, like, it is a flavor, it's got a smell to it. And smell is a huge part of taste. It's basically all of it.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like, so I guess in a way they are kind of all different flavors, but not really.
I mean, well, like I said, if smell is so closely tied to taste and the olfactory senses, then yeah.
Yeah,
but
so like it starts off as apple, and then it just ends up being
Skittle.
Yeah, kind of analogous, androgynous fruit flavor
thingy. Yeah, it's just whatever you're choosing.
Just unknown, ununderstood.
It's sugar
fruit flavor.
Yeah,
but it starts off as apple, or lemon, or whatever. I don't know. I haven't had Skittles in forever.
Yeah, me either.
I think it's so good though. Sour Skittles slap.
Dude, sour Skittles are good.
So good.
But I can't eat them because
they turn the inside of your mouth into ground beef.
Yes, it's terrible,
That's
dude.
the texture. My brain, I can see
the roof of my mouth just feels, it's so tender. It hurts. It hurts so bad.
Okay, when you're trying to find a word when speaking and you're trying to find, like what I just did, trying to find the word for ground beef, do you see an image of ground beef in your mind?
Yeah, when I'm searching for the word, it's just like I can't get my brain, the brain matter won't fall into place to actually put the syllables together to make the word. Yeah, I see it all the time.
Okay. Maybe it's not just me that does that. Because I will be describing something and I can see it so vividly, mentally, like in my mind.
But see, that also causes a problem in me because I'll have something really funny that I think is funny to say, and I'll see it, and it's like making me laugh, and I can't get it out.
Yeah.
And then like I end up butchering it because I'm like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I do the same thing.
Paul from work tagged me a thing today. It was a dude that got real stoned and he forgot what Pringles were, and he was describing them and
forgot what Pringles were.
Yeah, and he's like, bro, I'm eating these potato chips and they're awesome. It's like a text conversation back and forth. He's like, what chips are they? He's like, they're the curved ones on the wheel, the seat. The horse seat. The seat of the horse.
I immediately know what you're talking about.
The guy's like, the saddle? He goes, yeah, saddle chips. So good.
Saddle chips.
So they're shaped like, he's like, the ones that they stack, they're in a tube. And Brittany's like, oh my god, it's Ty. It's Ty trying to describe anything.
Yeah.
That's how my brain. It's like when Mari and I went into the, she and I went into the international market and I described it as having a big smell.
Because that's a very large smell in there.
I walked in, I was like, big smell.
That place does have a big smell.
It does.
It does. I went in there with you. It has a big smell.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's got all kinds of cool stuff in there. I'd like to, I'm going to go in there and just buy a bunch of just things I have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
Use Google Translate and be like, oh, well, now I can make this out of this, hopefully. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the place has all kinds of cool stuff. It's very fragrant.
Yeah.
It's like all these different smells come together and form a middle finger for your face.
Yep, basically. The most prominent of all smells at the K&S International Market is the smell of fish.
Yes.
Because and that's not derogatory, it's not offensive. They sell live fish and freshly butchered fish.
I wonder if they have
24/7
scallops there, like fresh scallops.
Maybe.
Because
I'm curious about buying meat from there. Because they got that whole back wall is a butcher counter. On like the back left side of the store, like when you walk in, that whole back side is a butcher's counter. The whole thing.
Mm.
And there's dudes back there not speaking English, chopping up meat so fast. All kinds of meat.
Think we can get some monkey in there?
No, probably not.
You sure? Come on.
I wonder how much, because I'm obsessed with language. A lot of the people that work there are Hispanic, so Spanish-speaking peoples. There are a lot of Chinese people working there, and they of course speak Mandarin Chinese, or they speak.
Do you think there's some sort of weird hybridized language?
They're not like a pidgin or anything, but it's like there's like Mexican dudes learning Chinese. And there's Chinese people learning Spanish.
It's a weird cross section.
That's it's a real weird. Right?
Yeah, that'd be cool though. You let me get monkey in there? Come on.
Maybe we talk to somebody and find some monkey.
Okay,
Probably.
like real talk. If you knew it was monkey, and it was prepped the way you're supposed to eat monkey, I don't know. This is just spitballing.
I'm in a restaurant.
Yeah. Like
I'm in a restaurant. Am I in the United States? Am I in another country?
Okay. Well, there's no way you're gonna get monkey served in a restaurant in the United States. Let's say in a perfect world, let's say yes. Let's say that monkey is on the menu.
Monkey's on the menu.
So.
Yeah, I eat it.
Yeah. See, I would too. I would want to know. I would want to try it.
Yeah.
And like, if it's not good, I'm not gonna eat it.
Is it one of the? Here's the real question: what kind of monkey are we talking here? Is it like a very human-like monkey, or is it like a not human-like monkey?
Okay, so we're getting a weird ethics conversation here.
Yeah, because like gibbons are very monkey. They're very long arms, tails.
So like some Gibbon tacos.
I'd be fine with Gibbon tacos. I'd feel sad about it.
Depends how good it is.
Gibbon tacos made properly, I bet, slap.
Like Gibbon's arms.
This is gonna come back. This video is gonna come back like 10 years from now and be like, Ty, can you explain why in 2021 you talk about making Gibbon tacos?
Because it's a wild, abstract idea that we're investigating. It means nothing.
It means nothing.
It's just two idiots talking about freaking monkey meat.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It's nothing more than that.
Anyway, yeah, I eat the Gibbon. I went. yeah, I eat it.
Good.
Yeah. People eat foie gras. Fatty goose liver.
People eat all kinds of weird shit.
People eat fatty goose liver.
Dude, goose is not that good. Have you ever had goose? It's terrible.
Probably not. I don't think I've had goose.
It's not good.
I've eaten other birds.
Yeah. See, most birds are good.
Most birds are good.
Geese are not.
I tell you about the time that I went to the bird sanctuary eating fried chicken. And like I didn't realize what I was doing until I was almost done eating it.
That's not as bad as you think it is. Now, if you would have fed some fried chicken to a bird, that would have been fucked up. Yeah, it'd been kind of weird.
I've seen someone do that before.
Okay.
In one of the bird groups I'm in.
Was the bird like, whoa?
The bird, dude,
this is pretty freaking good.
Dude, the bird was like the lady was doing something and she had her camera on.
Mm.
So she had like her phone on a tripod in her kitchen, filming herself, and she was doing something, and the bird was in the background, and the bird was like saw food on the table and like went over to the table and it grabbed it. Yeah, grabbed a whole chicken wing and ran away with it.
It grabbed a wing and skedaddled.
Yeah,
that's great.
I got bit on the face by a bird yesterday.
Oh God.
Yep.
See, like
birds
only have one speed. It's rah.
Yeah, he got me like right above my left eyebrow. Up here. There's no mark or anything. He didn't get me hard enough to hurt me.
Yeah.
He was just excited. He was on my shoulder and he was like getting real close to my face.
That's how they like investigate
and bouncing up and down real quick and like screaming in my ear and stuff. Just he was so excited. And he just like chomped on my face for a second.
Do the bird thing.
And I was like trying to pull my hair. I was like, dude, stop it. And then he bit my ear. And then I had to get him to get off me. I was like, stop. I'm trying to.
It's too much.
Yeah. And then I watched him fly very fast into a glass window. Literally, yeah. He hit the window and then he dropped.
Aww.
And then he didn't hit it hard enough to like hurt himself. And he was bell rung. He was very confused. The lead came and picked him up. He was like dizzy. He's like, what is going on? Birds are silly.
Birds are silly. They're fun to watch.
Yep.
Dude, man, birds have always been good.
Birds are cool.
And
that's why you shouldn't eat goose. They're too cool.
Well, so yeah,
geese are dicks, really, but
I think that's what it is. I think if it's a long bird, long meat. I don't think it's good.
Long meat.
Yeah, think about it.
Like geese.
Geese
are long. It's obviously a long bird.
Is ostrich good?
I bet ostrich eggs are killer. I bet.
You make the biggest omelet on the planet.
Yeah. Or a bunch of small ones.
Well,
using a power drill with a like beat the.
But don't you have to like? Is it like an omelet? No, I guess you can make a multi-egg omelet. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking.
Where were you going with that?
So like an ostrich egg is like this big, right?
Yeah.
It's like basketball size almost.
Yeah.
So like you crack it, wow. So I guess you could as long as you mix it up, get the yolk and the egg white together, and then just divvy it up. You can make as many omelets as you want. I was thinking, well, isn't like one egg make that into an omelet? I don't know.
That's an interesting thought.
How many eggs constitutes an omelet? Or does it matter?
I don't think it matters.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Because when I was at Belmont,
so why did I think I had like a weird? Why is there a weird omelet rule in my head? It's just wasted space. What the hell is that doing in there? Delete.
Yeah, this is how we discover these things. When I was at Belmont, there was a omelet bar at breakfast.
It's a weird alcoholic choice.
Yes.
But okay.
It was great. And there was literally a vat of mixed eggs. It was, I don't know how many, like hundreds of eggs. Some dude had to like crack eggs into a giant vat, and
bothers me.
They had like a big drill thing that they would use to just beat all the eggs, and they would pour in cream and beat all the eggs, and then they had a big soup ladle thing that they used, and like that was the perfect amount of eggs for one omelet.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, very efficient. And the dude that worked the omelet bar was the coolest guy.
Remember you talking about this guy?
He was rough looking. He had like scars on his face and stuff, and he covered in tattoos. And he talked like he was from Memphis. Like he talked like a dude from like a street guy from Memphis. And
he had seen some shit.
He had lived some life.
Yeah.
And he was one of those dudes that like got out of prison and was doing everything he could to not go back to prison. Like you've never seen determination in a man, like a man that just got out of prison.
He's happy to do. He's like, I'm making eggs for these young people.
Yeah. And he was young too. He was like maybe 30. He was young.
He just lived real hard.
He lived real hard for his first 30 years though. And I was asking about his tattoos, and he's like, yeah, man, I got these tattoos when I was in prison. It's like, from a guy that, he used to be living.
Damn.
And
wow.
And I was like, what happened to him? He's like, he made some bad decisions.
Yep. That'll do it.
Yep. That dude got shot over some stupid thing he did. And his art lives on. I wonder what that guy's up to. The omelet guy. What he's doing.
Hopefully still slanging eggs.
Hopefully. It's funny, in Belmont, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'll say it anyway. Fuck it. At Belmont, a lot of the people that worked in the cafeteria, I don't know if this is still the case, but when I was there, a lot of the people that worked in the cafeteria were people who were in kind of a rehabilitation program, I guess is what you would call it. But these are people who were like freshly out of prison, freshly out of jail, and they're trying to get back on their feet with a regular job and whatever. And it's really good. A lot of them, like Omelet Guy, that dude was determined to not go back to jail. He wanted to just work his 9-to-5 job, make his money, pay his bills, live a good, clean, fulfilled life, and I respect him for that. And some of the other people that were working there were not cool. And my friend Julia used to work for security at Belmont, so she was in like the dispatch office. And I asked her what she does, and she's like, I literally sit in a room full of computer monitors and I answer the phone. And so someone calls and says, I just saw someone get mugged on campus, and then she calls the cops. That's all she does. That's literally, she did it 4 hours a day.
She's a sentinel.
Basically, yeah. That's all she did. And she said, you have no idea how often people report in that the cafeteria workers are stealing the food and selling it. Because it's all cafeteria grade stuff. So the steaks that would get fed to like the basketball players and stuff, because like the basketball players they're on their own meal plan and they get like a different food and they get fed at a different time.
So yeah, I mean, like, well, if they're part of the sports programs, like
they get a high protein,
fat protein diet. Yeah, makes sense.
So they would get, and there was a lot of like really good stuff that they offered. There was a lot of steak, and there was a lot of other high quality meat stuff, and these guys were stealing the steaks out of the freezers. And then taking them down the street and selling them in the street and getting caught. Could you imagine, like, you get out of jail for, I don't know, a drug charge or something, like you had some weed in your car, which, let's be real, that's not a real drug, but whatever. You get busted on a weed charge, and then you're in jail for a couple months, and they let you out for good behavior, and then you get busted again for stealing steaks
You're hawking meat.
You're hawking
in the
meat.
street.
You some street meat.
Hey man, you want some school meat? What?
It's like, what? I got 8 ounce. I got it. Dude's like, 8 ounce? How much you want for this?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's such a weird thing to get in trouble for. And then
But also, dude, sometimes
you're gonna get roasted when you go back to jail.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
well, yeah, well, like it's so stupid.
You're gonna get roasted when you go back to jail, dude.
Like that meat you're trying to sell, roasted.
Absolutely.
So, but also some people can't help themselves, man.
No, some people need that excitement of doing something bad. Some people love that.
It's weird.
It's a weird thing. I don't get that.
Me either. Some sort of weird adrenaline junkie. That's like, I mean, that manifests in a weird way, like stealing things, man. Dude, there's no way I could steal something. I would freak the hell out the whole time.
I'd snitch on myself by accident.
Yeah, like, like if I was trying to steal something, like even my body language would just be like I would look like really like a cartoon trying to get away with something. It's just, there's no way it would work.
Yeah, like a cartoon character. Like it's not.
It's not real. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Hawking meat.
Hawking meat in the street from a school cafeteria.
Cafeteria meats just can't be beat.
Where does that square pizza come from? Speaking of cafeteria meat,
Square pizza. Oh, you school pizza?
like old like high school pizza. That stuff is horrible.
It's
horrible.
It's like you know how you can go into like Lowe's or Home Depot and they have like those rolls of fabric or carpet for like big area. It's like pizza made the exact same way. It's
like mass produced
pizza carpet.
Yeah. There's a machine somewhere with one guy running it. That's how easy that pizza is manufactured. Yeah.
He's just like cranking out.
He's like pulling a lever to like, drop a thing to cut the slices.
It's probably the same. It's next to the factory that makes Skittles and Fruit Loops.
Yeah, for sure. There's some kind of it's just like in air quotes tomato puree.
Yeah.
Bread dough. Meat. It's like, what really am I eating? Xanthan gum? What is that? I didn't even say that right. That's how fake it is. That stuff sucked. Crispitos were good.
Oh my gosh, dude. Crispitos. Crispito Day was great.
Yeah,
because
it's like every other Thursday. What's Crispito Day?
Also Spicy Chicken Day.
Spicy Chicken Sandwich Day was
a good day.
That was it, man.
It was a good day.
I would get 2 spicy chicken sandwiches and one of each side.
I would get 2 spicy chicken sandwiches and I would take one home. That was the move.
Eat one on the bus?
Never ate one on the bus, but I did. There was many a day where I would have one for like after school.
Yeah.
If I was staying to do things.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, pocket sandwich.
Yeah.
Or like out of the backpack or, you know.
I did that a lot in high school because I was just... That was when my blood sugar stuff was at the worst when I was in high school. It got better as I got a little older.
Dude,
But I think it was like just being like puberty. It was like being in high school.
Was out of whack.
That age, yeah, my body was out of whack. So I would be in class and just suddenly get real sweaty and cold at the same time.
Some blood sugar crashing right
there.
there.
Yeah, and it was bad. So I just would keep food in my backpack all the time. And I'd be like halfway through math, and it's always the same. It's like the same times every day because your body's on such a schedule.
Yeah.
That you wake up at this minute, at this hour, and you eat something maybe before you go to school, and then they feed you pizza and milk at 11 a.m. and then you don't eat again until after you get home.
That's such a weird who decided that milk was going to be the thing forever all day?
Dairy farms that had huge political influence in the United States.
That's a good point.
At the time that
lobbyists decided that years ago, so we had no choice.
These children need a high calcium. They need calcium in their diet.
You know, they put vitamin D in milk. They put it there, like they have to put it in it.
Yeah. You know what has?
It's not a natural source of vitamin D.
You know what has more? You know what has more vitamin D than milk?
The sun.
Broccoli.
Broccoli, dude, love broccoli.
Broccoli,
dude, vegetables.
Broccoli per serving has more vitamin D than milk. You know what else has? You know what has more vitamin C than oranges? Bell peppers per serving.
Dude, I love
vegetables. It's insane.
People are sleeping on vegetables in a big way.
Vegetables are wet. Wet.
Most of them are naturally wet.
Yes, they have water inside them already.
They're fantastic.
They're so wet.
Dude, vegetables are great. All of them. All of them. Almost.
It's basically wet and nutrients in a fibrous membrane. That's what a vegetable is.
It's packaged for you. You can eat it as such. It's fantastic. Like, I'm trying to think of a vegetable that I don't like.
The dude at the grocery store, when I went to the grocery store yesterday, was impressed at the volume of vegetables that I purchased.
And that really shouldn't be a thing. And he was
No,
impressed.
Well, also, I put all the vegetables at the front because I have a bag that all the vegetables.
And you're like, look what I did.
Well, I've got my reusable grocery bags, right? Because the environment. So I've got all these reusable grocery bags, and the big green bag is the one that all the vegetables go in
because it's green.
Okay. And it's big, right? Because vegetables take a lot of space. They're big. So I put the green bag and then all the vegetables, and then I put the next bag with all the canned stuff in the strong bag that holds the cans, and then the next stuff in the next bag that it goes in. And the guys at first were like, "This man buying straight vegetables." That's exactly what he said, in the tone of voice that he said it. This man buying straight vegetables.
Hell yeah.
And he was right.
Dude, vegetables are great.
Dude, produce.
So like, what? I mean, what is your...
You know what? I'm making stir fry when we finish this pod.
Are you now? Mm-hmm. But we got all this fantastic 5-bean soup.
Mm-hmm. And you can have both.
It's true.
You can have 5-bean soup at lunch and have stir fry dinner.
Yeah. And
I gotta eat that produce before it goes bad.
So like, what's a vegetable that you just don't really like? Like, what's one that you... Because I'm trying to think of one, and like, I like all vegetables.
Yeah, I like
they're great.
I like pretty much all vegetables. Now, a dish that involves vegetables that I don't like would be pork and beans. Boston baked beans, not a fan. I don't like sweet beans. It's not.
Yeah. I get that.
Baked beans. We use molasses and brown sugar. Why? Why are you trying to make beans sweet? Stop doing that. Beans should be savory and served with cornbread and hot sauce.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I just got hungry thinking about that.
Yeah, me too. That's the proper way to cook beans.
Yeah, man. I really can't think of a vegetable that I don't enjoy. They're all good.
Yeah, they're all good. Absolutely.
Dude, I'll eat broccoli out the field, dude. Straight up, just blam. It's great.
Broccoli's great.
I'll eat a turnip out the dirt.
Okay, do you feel like broccoli and Brussels sprouts taste essentially the same?
No.
No?
They don't taste the same.
I think I'm the only person.
They have a different texture as well.
I feel like they're the same plant though. They're literally the same plant. Like mustard greens, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts are all the same.
They're the same plant with different parts of it.
Yeah.
They're in different stages of gestation.
So I feel like Brussels sprouts and broccoli taste different. They taste different.
But they have a similarity.
But
yes.
they have a similar...
Yeah.
Okay.
But they do taste different.
Like the stem of a broccoli plant, like the stem of broccoli, as opposed to like the crown of broccoli, the stem tastes more like Brussels sprouts than the crown does.
Yeah.
But the Brussels sprouts have a much stronger flavor, though. Kale probably the strongest.
Brussels sprouts got a funk to them.
Yes. Brussels sprouts got a funk.
Yeah.
Kale. Incredible.
I'm like, I don't mind kale. I feel like kale is in too many things.
Mari uses kale a lot.
Well, I mean,
in her cooking, and it's good. She uses it in a way that's good. It's not like gross. Everything's
chewy,
leafy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know it's there, then okay, cool.
Yeah. Like she chopped up kale one time and put it in a soup. It was
Sure,
awesome.
sure was great.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
She also makes a salad with she uses kale, spinach, and a bunch of other, pickled onions and whatever other stuff.
Dude, pickled anything is great.
Yeah.
So good.
Chops it up, and then lemon juice, lemon zest, and olive oil and salt. That's it. And pepper. That's a salad right there.
Dude,
slap.
Something, and this may be a southern thing, but dude, I love beets. Beets.
No, beets.
I understand Dwight Schrute. I understand that entire beets are freaking awesome. They're great.
If you eat enough beets, it will turn your pee kind of a purpley color, a little bit.
We can only hope.
Mm-hmm. Dude, speaking of purple, I bought a 7 purple drink today. All natural. It's 7 purple juices.
From where?
Trader Joe's.
7 purple drink. Is that what it's called?
I got it in my bedroom. I'll go get it real quick. Show it to Cameron.
Man, but yeah, and back to where we started with alcohol and vodka.
Mm-hmm. You think 7 purple drinks good with booze? I
bet it is. I bet, dude. There's a beet vodka drink that I've had before that I was just like, oh, where's this been my entire life? Because
that's so Russian, dude.
It had it had an earthy, it was good, but also had a bite of the alcohol, and it was perfect. It was great, and I had 5 of them, and I was blitzed. It was awesome.
Sounds like a great time.
It was great. Listen, I got my vitamins, I got my earthy vegetables, I got my booze, I got my buzz. It's great.
You got everything you wanted.
Yeah.
Everything you could have asked for.
Dude, people are sleeping on beets. Most vegetables.
People are sleeping on beets and most of the vegetables. I would say, I posted that TikTok about beet juice because I love it so much.
Yeah, beet juice, fire.
And dude commented, he's like, beets taste like dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part.
It's like, where do you think they came from?
Yeah, a lot of vegetables kind of have that.
Beets also have a weird,
a sort of
irony, but also they're kind of sweet at the same time. It's it's this weird thing, and it's just good. I like them.
Piggy eaters are weird to me, man. So weird. People that don't like. I think I'm on the extreme of this, but people who don't like any pulp in their juice.
Dude, I love pulp.
That's the
pulp
best.
Is great.
Bro, if you don't like pulp in your juice, you're weak.
You're a bitch.
You're weak.
Yeah, man.
But let me guess, too. You don't like eating chicken off the bone because the bone feels weird on your teeth.
Yeah, man. Not knocking if you like boneless wings.
I prefer boneless wings because they're not as messy. Because I make a huge mess when eating regular wings. And so I like boneless because I don't get barbecue sauce, or not barbecue sauce. I don't get hot sauce on my face. That's why I like boneless wings. That, and you can put boneless wings.
If I have a choice, I'm going standard traditional wings.
Yeah.
Now, it's I'm not going to eat boneless wings because it's still chicken, and chicken's delicious.
Yeah, you a flats or a drumstick guy?
Doesn't matter.
If you got to pick, they're going to bring you a plate of nothing but flats or nothing but drumsticks.
Man, I feel okay, follow me here. Drumstick, you're going to have more of the flavor, the bang.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into, I don't really care about breading either way. I like the meat. I like the meat, and I like the sauce. I like the flavor from whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And I feel like drumsticks hold to that better.
Mm-hmm.
But flats taste better.
I feel like flats are easier to eat for me. I do the pinch the edges, wiggle, pop one bone out, and then whoop. Yep. Yeah. I do that trick. I feel like I tear through a box of flats in no time.
Oh yeah, you
no
would.
time.
But
there's very little waste. I feel like sometimes
I feel like the drumstick, it holds it it's designed. It's like an ice cream cone of meat. It's just it has the flavor on it. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Some of our vegans crying that we're having this conversation.
It's all right. Well, they can enjoy some beets.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm on board.
Dude, a beet salad? A beet salad with a...
That soup I made is vegan. Yeah, dude. That soup I made is vegan. There's no dairy or animal products in it at all. There's no meat.
There's nothing wrong with being vegan. If that's your bag, fine. But also, there's nothing wrong with eating all food anyway.
And the thing, too, there's such a misunderstanding about that. No one hates you because you're vegan. We hate you because you won't shut up about it.
Yeah, that's what it is. So who cares? Just eat your food, man.
The same way.
Eat your food. And don't bitch at me because I want to eat my food. I don't come over there and slap the sprigs at your freaking mouth. Yeah. How dare you eat those bean sprouts?
They're delicious. How dare you eat a vegetarian banh mi? How dare you? With tofu. Tofu slaps too. I don't I don't know who. I feel like my whole childhood, everybody used to just shit on tofu. Like
It's how you prepare it.
I think that what it was that we grew up in the South, and people didn't.
I ain't eating that tofu bullshit.
Yeah, people didn't know what it was, didn't understand. They associated it to Asia, and the only people that knew anything about Asia were the ones who fought in Vietnam.
Or the ones that bombed us in Pearl Harbor. Just bad associations.
Yeah, there's a bad association with Asia, and so there's this weird Asian all-white block meat substitute that comes in a wet package. They're not going to take the time to understand that this is a centuries-old product. It's made with soybeans. It's very good for you. It's got lots of protein and very little fat. It's a great meat substitute. You can fry it with oil.
It's all about how you prep it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that,
because it literally just takes on whatever flavor you're doing.
Like that Korean place that I was telling you about earlier, Sogangdong Tofu House. Hence the name.
I hit that place up, man. It sounds like it's good.
We can go here shortly.
Cool. Let's do it.
Whenever you want to go. Nick loves that place too. We can take him there as part of his birthday thing.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. He loves that place too. We always get croaker when me and him go. It's a kind of fish. And they fry it like true Asian style, where they literally just gut it and then fry the whole fish. It's awesome.
Dope.
Awesome.
I'm literally like, I'm sitting over here trying to think of something that I wouldn't try, that I wouldn't eat one time, just to like get it in my palate and be like, okay, well, I guess this is what this tastes like. Whether or not I'm going to incorporate this into my diet in the future, like, I know I don't like, I've spoken before, like I don't like mushrooms, but it's not the taste of mushrooms. It's just like it's the texture, and also like if you deep fry a mushroom, it's great because it takes away the texture part that bothers me, like the part where like I'm chewing on an eyeball. Like it freaks me out.
Remember that Mari made a soup one time for us that she had to use mushrooms to make, but you buy the just like when we go to the international market, you buy the dried mushrooms, and then I think you boil them in some kind of, it's like tomatoes and herbs and spices and all kinds of other stuff, and some vinegar, and you boil all that stuff, and then you dump it in a blender and blend it so there's no anything left.
It's just the essence.
It's like the whatever essence the flavor is. Yeah, it's just ground.
And that's fine. Like I mean, I don't mind. I love the taste of mushrooms. Yeah. I don't like. I just can't. Like it freaks me out. I'm not. That's such a weird thing. But
Brittany at work. Brittany's the same way.
Really?
Yeah, mushrooms. She said it. She said that biting into a mushroom for her, the only thing that she can think of is like biting into an eyeball.
That's literally how I describe it.
Yeah, that's how she feels about it. For me, like a cheap cut of meat, like a fatty cut of meat, like a real fatty steak. No, pass. I'd rather not eat meat than eat a really cheap fatty steak.
Yeah, like the best part of the steak, let's be honest, is New York strip, because you know what it is? It's all steak. It's all meat. There's like no fat on it.
Yeah.
No, I'll eat any kind of steak. I don't care.
It's like filet
ribeye, T-bone, New York strip. Doesn't matter. I don't care. It's as long as it's not like cooked all the way well done, where it's just like.
Dude, if you order steak well done, also the same as if you don't like pulp in your orange juice, you're also a bitch. If you order
you're doing it wrong.
If you order your steak well done, you might as well keep cooking it and have jerky.
In which case, bring me back around. I like jerky.
Yeah, jerky's good. I'm sure we can create a graph of like acceptable steak cooking, right? Like rare,
where steak becomes jerky.
Yeah, it's like blue rare, medium rare. That's it. Medium. No further than medium rare. No further. I don't want well.
No,
I don't want medium well.
See, I like my steak. But also it depends on the cut of steak.
It depends on the cut of steak.
It
depends on the restaurant.
Very true. Because it's all different.
You don't order blue rare from some skeezy place. You order blue rare from Kane Prime, from Gordon Ramsay's restaurant.
A steak place that's just they're all about the chef's preparation of the meat. It's good stuff.
Yes.
Well, like I like my steak, and I do this because I never know depending on where I'm going. But I order a medium, because if it shows up and it's a little medium rare, Cool. If it shows up and it's medium, tipping towards, it's still medium. Mm-hmm. So it's a good safe way to order steak. I figured out.
Yeah, especially if you've never been to the restaurant. Now, if you know where, let's say you do know where you're going and you're getting a.
Well, then I know, and then I'll adjust. But like I usually go medium just to be safe. If I've if I've never had it before.
So if you have been there before and you know it's good steak. Do you order medium rare, or do you order rare, or what?
Order medium rare usually. Mm-hmm. Like if it's a place I've been before. But yeah, usually like if it's somewhere I've never experienced it, I'll go medium. Or if they have a prime rib sandwich, I'll try that out too. That's so good.
I went, I think for my 21st birthday. I think it was my 21st birthday. My dad and my stepmom took me to Cane Prime.
I've been to Cane Prime a couple times.
And I ordered. I got a filet mignon. And I got it blue rare.
Did you get their candied bacon?
I did get the candy.
Yeah, man, it's good.
Cotton candy bacon in the skillet.
It's so stupid.
Yeah,
but it's like, why not?
Yeah. one of the cooks or the chefs or whoever decided to add that to the menu was like, what if we put cotton candy and bacon together? And like, Charles, you're so stupid. Like, let me put it on the menu for a week.
He's like, they will eat it tonight.
Yeah,
they will eat it.
Let me put it on the menu for a week. But yeah, I ordered it blue rare, and the waiter looked at me funny. Yeah,
sir.
I didn't realize you were a man of culture. I am. Even my dad was like, "What is blue rare?" I was like, "It's more rare than rare."
It's like it's still alive.
It's still living. I want the muscle fibers to twitch when they put salt on it.
That's like in the back, they're like,
yeah,
on your plate.
Yeah, so good. And you only do that with a certain.
Yeah, you gotta be in an establishment.
Yeah, you gotta be in an establishment. You do not.
Cane Prime's good though. I've been there a few times.
Wet.
Also, another restaurant that's right down that street is damn it! See, it escapes me the moment I think about it. It's like that fusion Italian place. God,
I've heard of it. You've talked about it before.
I love it. It's one of my go-to spots. Back when I was going out and doing stuff.
Yeah, back before the human death virus. That place down there, London Pub.
What is it? Damn it!
That place, London Pub, down there is really good.
Never been there.
Yeah, London Pub. It's
London
good.
Pub. Dude, a place I also miss.
That weird London Pub place we got the fish and chips at one time with Molly.
See, I'm spacing all my names now. It's because we're reaching the end.
What's it called? Fleet Street? No.
Fleet Street.
It's called Fleet Street.
Yeah, dude, I love Fleet Street.
I reached into the
Fleet Street.
Dude, do you remember that time? Do you remember that time we went down there and then my phone died, your phone died, and Molly already left, and we had to walk like 3 miles back to the car.
And it was
raining,
downpouring,
and we were like, "Fuck it, we're jogging," and we started jogging in our nice clothes.
Yeah, man. Hey, I was also. I mean, I was pretty slushy. Like I had a few.
Yeah, I think I had 3 pints.
I had 3 pints of drinks and pretty stiff drinks.
Yeah, giant
and like
bowl of.
By the time like we just like jogged out of our stupor, but also I busted my ass.
You did. You fell. Yeah, you walking across that grate.
Yeah, that grate.
You're like step, right leg.
Well, I had Vans on, and as we know, the waffle cone, freaking, they have no tread at all.
Yeah,
and like
they're made for skateboarding. It's not made for walking.
It's not made for jogging in the rain.
Yeah,
and like I literally caught that grate and just went. And like I made eye contact with you. I was like, "Well, I'm up here now." Bam! And then I hit the ground, and I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
I was bruised for like a freaking month, like just this whole right side.
Yeah, because you fell straight onto metal.
Yeah. Dude, I caught some major air too.
You did.
I was long striding, dude. That wind sprint.
Get your hand like a knife. Cut the wind.
See this fisted stuff? It's amateurs. It's bullshit. That wind sprint. Cut that air.
Cut with a knife.
Cut like a knife. Speed running.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
That was a good time.
It was a good time.
I
miss going out and doing shit. God. Screw you, Corona.
For real.
But yeah, man. You know what? Chicken butt. Chicken thighs. Monkey meat. Canned meat.
Dude, Gibbon. That's gonna be the name of this episode. Gibbon tacos.
Gibbon tacos. Gibbon tacos slap, man.
Oh man, I can't wait to make the graphic for that.
Piglet parfait.
You
like some chewy ice cream? Come on.
Chewy ice cream. Ugh.
Man,
what a pod this has been.
It's been great.
Dude, this is
Dude, the rare drop.
That's a rare drop, baby.
Rare drop with a dollop on top. Ooh. All right.